Some of you are incredibly harsh with yourselves. You've convinced yourself that something is broken inside you, that there's something fundamentally wrong with who you are, but that's not the truth. What you're really dealing with isn't you, it's a pattern. And you've mistaken that pattern for your identity. You are far more layered, far more complex, far more powerful than the habits you fall into when you're under pressure. Think about it. When you get angry, scared, overwhelmed, stressed, whatever the negative behavior is, does it happen every second of every day? Do you overeat all the time? Do you shut down all the time? Of course not. It only happens when you enter a specific emotional state, which means the problem isn't who you are, it's the state you're in. And if you can change your state, you can change your behavior. Now, if I were teaching this at a deeper level, I'd tell you the truth. Most people don't want to hear you don't have one personality. You have many. We pretend we're just one person because it's simpler, but it's not accurate. You've seen this in other people. You've said it yourself. That's not who he is. Yes, it is. It's just a part of who he is. You simply don't see that side very often. You are made up of parts. Different parts of you come alive in different situations. And the problem for many people is they put the wrong part in charge of important areas of their life. That part might be great somewhere else, just not there. I'll give you an example from my own life. I grew up being a people pleaser. That part of me wanted everyone to be happy. And in friendships, that worked beautifully. But when I brought that same part into business, it almost destroyed me. Because you can't try to please sharks. They don't get satisfied. They consume you. I had to put a different part of myself in charge. When I did, everything changed. That's what a real shift looks like. Once the right part is leading, the old patterns lose their power. Now let's talk about the most dangerous pattern of all, fear. Decisions made from fear are almost always wrong. Not always, but nearly always. Because fear comes from scarcity. And when you're in scarcity, you're not resourceful. When you're not resourceful, you accept limits. But when you're strong, clear, and certain, you find a way. You go through the problem, around it, or you create a new path altogether. Fear is what stops people. Not just in business, but in relationships, in parenting, in life itself. Some parents are so afraid of upsetting their children that they never set boundaries. Then those kids grow up expecting the world to cater to them, and they can't maintain relationships. Fear destroys connection. Fear destroys growth. And fear is not something outside of you. It's not the world. It's not circumstances. It's a pattern, which means it can be changed. All you have to do is replace fear with faith. And people say, but I don't know if I have faith. You were born with it. You just haven't been using that muscle enough. Let me prove it to you. Every day you drive down a road with nothing but a thin yellow line separating you from people who are distracted, exhausted, drunk, texting, and people die every single day because of it. And yet you still get in your car. Why? Because the alternative is not living. You choose faith over fear without even realizing it. But during certain periods, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People allowed themselves to be terrified into hiding, into isolation, into distrusting other human beings based on statistics that didn't hold up the way they were presented. Never let that happen to you again. Not just from one event, from any system that profits from keeping you afraid. Fear can't be forced into you. It can only be offered, triggered, repeated. And leaders feel fear, but they don't let it decide for them. That's courage. That's faith. If you wanted to avoid criticism, completo. Aristotle gave the formula centuries ago: say nothing, do nothing, be nothing, and no one will criticize you. But today, criticism is a profession. People who've never built anything try to tear others down to feel important. And if you let them control you, you surrender your freedom. So the real game isn't whether you win or lose. The real game is which part of you is in charge. The courageous part doesn't mean fearless. Fearless people don't survive. Courage means you feel the fear and act anyway, because something matters more than your comfort. That's where mission comes in. If your goal is only money, it won't be enough. But money is the fuel that sustains a mission. It allows you to serve, to grow, to attract great people, to create impact. It must be part of the plan. And the plan must be simple enough that you believe in it. The only thing that ruins it is letting fear take over and never say, that's just who I am. It isn't. It's a habit, a pattern. And patterns can be changed. There is a part of you that is bigger than fear, beyond the body, beyond the mind. Call it soul, spirit, essence, whatever resonates with you. When that part is activated, your energy changes. Your emotions change. And emotion is the fuel behind everything you create. You must learn to direct that fuel, not let media, algorithms, or outrage merchants decide how you feel. Negativity sells. Fear sells. Attention is monetized. That's the world we live in. But you don't have to live controlled by it. Progress comes from feeding the strongest part of yourself. There's a line from A Beautiful Mind I'll never forget. The man said, "I know there's a monster in me and a great man. Every day I feed the great one and starve the monster." Whatever you feed grows, so feed your courage, feed your standards. Stop tolerating what you used to tolerate. That doesn't mean you'll never fall. It means you recover faster. And every time you do, you get stronger. If you keep moving forward, you will achieve what you dream. The only thing that will stop you is fear. Fear that you're not enough, fear that you don't know enough, you don't need to know everything. You were given life without earning it. Something in this universe believed you were worth it. And it expects you to grow into more. That's why growth feels good. That's why expansion matters. And most people miss it, not because they lack potential, but because they let fear lead. Fear will always exist. Just don't let it be in charge.